to Sharon. Sharon, and give us a. I know when you were first, when you first found out of us, you were dealing with a lot of problems, a lot of pain, sleep problems, energy problems. So,
Yeah,
kind of give me an idea of what you were dealing with and how you found us, and kind of your journey through this whole process.
yeah. You were like my last hope. And I was I found you on social media and I watched a different, a few different clips. And first of all, I just fell in love with you. And and you were so interesting and I just fell in love with you. And I thought, this lady's great. I want to listen to her. And I had tried a couple other programs, but they did not help me. And I thought, oh, do I want to do another program, take a chance, But I just loved listening to you, and I was very ill. I was very ill, and it was very hard to even get where we live. It was very hard for me to even get a neurologist to take me. My daughter's neurologist finally, as a favor, took me. And thank God for him and you. I swear to God. And I was way overweight, lots of pain, terrific pain, autoimmune, um, just diagnosis after diagnosis, Epstein-Barr virus, rheumatoid arthritis. I was borderline diabetic. I could just go on and on and on. And my numbers are so much better. And I cannot wait because I see my doctors this month and next, and they both want blood work. So I know it's going to be exciting. My kidney numbers were horrible when I came to you, and liver, and they're so much better. Everything is. And I just found you in social media and I thought I'll take a chance. I listened to you. I started in October last year and I listened to you and you were going to do you know, I'm sorry, blood work and everything. And I thought, these other programs, they didn't do any of that stuff.
That's what I was about to ask you. What was the big difference between how we evaluated you and these other programs that you had tried?
Right. They didn't do blood work. They didn't do saliva testing, bowel testing, any of that. And I thought, in fact, one of them that I tried, I thought, and I do have thyroid problems, and that's another thing that attracted me to you, which and sugar, and it all goes, yourself that it all can be, go together. Um, I was doing a thyroid one with another fella, and no blood work or anything, lots of supplements, a lot more expensive. And if you're feeling this way, take a little this. If you're feeling that way, take a little that. Well, I thought, geez, I don't know.
So it was a guessing game.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
thought, I need somebody to put me on the straight and narrow. And you guys did it.
Well, tell me, so if someone's watching this, they have no idea what it is that we do. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience with working with your coach and how you, and also if you would comment on how you're feeling now compared to how you were feeling when you first started, if you would mind giving the audience a little bit idea of kind of what that involved and
Right. Um, Doctor, I slept all the time. I was weak. I was so weak. I was shaky. Um, my diet was horrible. And that all changed when you came into my life. That all changed. My coaches were wonderful. I had Tony the longest, and she was just wonderful. But everybody at Health Elevated and Healthy are you folks are wonderful. I didn't run into anybody that didn't do good to me.
right.
And
And
now I don't nap. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I have all this energy. I didn't clean house then. I couldn't. I couldn't use a broom. I couldn't use a mop. It hurt my body. It hurt my
wow.
hips. It hurt. I have a 4-level split, and I don't want to move. I can afford this place because how long ago I bought it, right?
Yeah.
And we have my daughter lives here too, and we kind of split it, you know. Her and her daughter live up, we live down. But I am able to, I mop, I vacuum, I sweep, I do dishes, make beds. I couldn't even make a bed.
Wow.
I do all that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
So I assume your family has noticed the change with you as well.
Oh, yes. In fact, I talked to my son today and I said, I gotta go because Dr. Jar's gonna call me. And he said, Mom, please tell me what you're taking and what you're doing. What are you eating? He wants to even know, what are you eating? He had cancer 5 years ago in his uh, throat, back of his
Uh-huh.
mouth, and they took out part of his palate and all that. And I said, and he has trouble with his thyroid, legs, everything like I did. He's my son. And so he's interested. He wants to know, man, he said, you're clearer, you've got energy, you play. I babysit. I watch my grandkids. I'm watching my grandkids. In fact, I think I shared with Brooklyn that my daughter's been ill, and it's been going around, but I've been taking care of her. And I couldn't have took care of her before. I just thank the Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you were to rate, you said you couldn't, you were sleeping all the time, you had joint pain, and now you're able to watch your grandchild, clean the house, do those kind of things. If you were to rate your improvement, if you were giving me a percentage, 0 to 100% from how you felt the day we met until now, how much would you say you've improved?
Oh, I would say 100%. I mean, if I have pain, Linda and I've talked about it, my daughter, if I have pain, it's raining or something. It's going to rain or something like that. You know what I mean? And I can take a Tylenol. It's amazing.
And what would you say to someone who is in your shoes and we haven't met in person, we've done all this through Zoom. What would you say that
Yes.
person who is maybe maybe having doubts or they're skeptical, or what would you say to that person who is looking for someone that may not be in their local area, but what would you say based on your experience, what would you
Oh,
tell that
wow.
person who is sitting where you are but not really sure what to do and maybe skeptical? What would you say to that person now?
I would tell him to join. I would say, you know what, honey? You need to join. This is going to be your lifeline. You need to stick with the plan, do the best you can, stick with your coach. They won't lead you astray and they won't judge you. And they're very kind and just, they will lead you. I'm telling you, do this, do this. Nothing that they do for you is going to harm you. I, I can't thank you enough. I felt very honored to get this opportunity. And if in any way I can ever help anybody or help in any way, the company, you're, you're, you, I would be glad because my life has totally changed. I
Well, that's
couldn't be with
great.
my grandchildren or anything. I was, uh, I was starting to give up. Yeah.
And
Because I've been,
what pushed you forward so that you were willing to take one more chance?
um, not only I'll tell you what, I listened to you and you said, if this is happening to you and that's happening to you, you're on fire. And I thought, I am on fire. I am on fire, you know? And I heard you quite a few times. And then I found out that you were going to do blood work and everything. And anything else I had tried, they weren't doing that. And they weren't doing saliva. They weren't doing checking stool, they weren't doing all these different tests. I thought, how can they know what's going on with me? And I had to pay more money. You know, I didn't feel like I got anything but the supplements that I had to guess how much I should take. I would tell them, I would tell my best friend, my child. In fact, I did tell my son, I would say, do this. I would say, this is the answer. Do it.
And
And
so would
that's what
you
did
would
it for me.
that's great. And would you recommend this to anyone else out there who may be suffering like you have been?
Oh, I absolutely would because I've been sick. I was a manager. I've been in retail for over 23 years. I worked for Macy's. I've worked for, and I've been in management. I'm a fashion manager, and I know how it works, and I'm hands-on. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of a Meyer company, but I was a fashion manager for them. I had a great team of girls. I got sick in 2016, and until you folks, I had nothing. I mean, they could give me muscle relaxers. Nothing helped me. There
Uh-huh.
was no answer.
Right.
There
Right.
was no answer. I knew there was things wrong with me, but there was
But no
no
one
answer.
but no one could tell you why.
Right. You know what I was thinking today about you and the program, and how did I feel? And I thought, and I'm not trying to put it like, I don't want it to sound wrong, but I was in a place that I felt like the woman with the issue of blood. Honest to God, I thought this is my last hope. I don't know what I'm going to do if this doesn't work. 'Cause I'm going to turn 70 in a few months. So I thought if this doesn't work, what am I going to do? I can't enjoy my grandkids. I can't clean my house. They might as well put me in a nursing home. That's what I thought, but I don't feel that way now.
That's
I go,
great.
I get out now and go hear my son play music, and he plays all over. He's in a bluegrass band, and my other son does things, and uh, it's wonderful. And I would say, I promise you, I would say, do it. Join this group. Join your group. Don't go with these other because they're not going to check your blood. They're not going to give you good supplements. I've been down that road.
Well, Sharon, I want to congratulate you because you didn't give up.
Thank you.
You were still seeking answers and you were willing to invest the time and the effort and make the financial commitment because you knew that you were worth it. So I want to
Th-
you saved yourself. We just kind of helped facilitate it, but you did the work, so congratulations and you
Thank
deserve
you.
you deserve all the best and I know
Thank
that
you.
your grandchildren are, I'm sure, love having you around and the
Yeah.
impact that you're making on your family and your community. So I want to thank you for giving us this time and sharing your heart with us because a lot of people, you said, how can you help our organization? Well, you just did it just now by
Oh,
sharing your
wonderful.
story.
I'm so glad because honest to gosh, I mean, if I'm telling them, I'm reaching out to you right now, not you, Dr. Jar, but if you're listening to me at some point, I'm reaching out to you right now to say, do the program. And they won't give up on you. And they will not give up on you. That's what I want to say. And don't give up on yourself. And the
That's right.
program works. The program works.
That's great. That's great because yes, your body can heal. We just need to know what's in the way.
Yes.
And of course, there needs to be changes. You got to be willing to make
Yes.
changes, but you have reaped the reward of all your hard work. So congratulations to
Thank
you.
you. I lost one more word because I know you probably have to go, but I started at 200 pounds. I'm 175 now.
Wow.
Yeah. And, not taking something to make me diet, just changing the way being mindful of what goes in my mouth and all that.
Yep, just getting your body healthy, the weight comes off.
Yeah, and energy just coming out of nowhere. Well, it is
That's
coming, you know what I mean?
No, that's fantastic. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for spending this time with us, and
thank you.
I'm sure that people will probably want to know exactly what you did, but like we talk about, it's got to be specific to each person. No one is the
Yes,
same.
it is different for everyone, I'm sure.
So, well, thank you. Have a great
Thank you,
day.
Dr.
Thank you for
Jura.
sharing
Thank
this,
you.
and I'll be looking for you on the page. And
Oh, yes, I'm going to keep following. I always
okay,
learn something new from you.
that's great. All right. Well, have a great day. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sharon.
God bless you.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.